Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do another mommy video. This is all about breastfeeding. This is such a big topic to any mothers out there. There's controversy, there's good stuff, there's bad stuff about breastfeeding. I'm going to tell you my opinion about it. I do breastfeed my son, so I do want to mention that to you guys. So I'm just going to tell you guys about breastfeeding, the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm going to talk about the controversy as well. So if you want to listen to what I think about breastfeeding, then grab a snack, because I think this is going to be a long one. And just keep on watching. Let's start off with the good of breastfeeding. I think breastfeeding is such an amazing thing. First of all, you have such an amazing bond with your baby when you breastfeed them. You just have a great bond. The moment they come out of the womb, it's basically you start breastfeeding. That's the first thing they learn. Breastfeeding not only is a great bond with your child, it is so good for your child. It has so much good things that you are giving to your child. So that's also a really, really good plus. I love breastfeeding. I don't really know what exactly is inside of breast milk. I didn't really research all that yet. I can do another video and tell you exactly what it provides your child. But from what I've read, and from what I've seen, and from people that I know that have been breastfed and haven't been breastfed, I think being breastfed is an amazing, amazing thing. So let's just get on to maybe the pump that I use, because I do pump and I do put my milk in a bottle for my son. He's almost 4 months, he's 3.5 months, and he does take the bottle maybe 2 or 3 times a month, but now he is taking it more since I do have a nipple issue, which I'll get on to the quote-unquote bad side of breastfeeding. But I do give him the bottle, but in the bottle it's my milk. I do pump and I just put the milk in the bottle. This is actually the bottle I use. There's a little bit of milk inside. I use this brand, the Aventi brand by Philips. I find that the nipple is very close to the mother's nipple, to my nipple, and so it doesn't confuse him. So I can feed him the bottle, and if he's still hungry, I can just put him on my nipple and he won't get nipple confusion, which I really like. So I do recommend these bottles. This is a really, really good brand of bottles. They are a little bit pricey, but you can get these at your local Toys R Us. I think Walmart sells them as well. So again, Aventi, A-V-E-N-T brand. I also use a pump, and this is the pump I use. It doesn't have the cord, but it works with battery or with electric. The electric cord is in my bedroom. But it comes with like a pump like this, and you just plug it to your source to put on your nipple, and you just pump away. So I really like this pump. This is the Medela pump, and it's just one nipple pump. There are some that come with 2, but I just think that's so extreme. Having 2, you just feel like a real big cow, but this is the Medela with one nipple pump. So I do use this. It is pricey. You can get it at the store, Toys R Us, like I said, like a lot of things you can get, but it is a great, great investment. If you want to invest in something, I think you should invest in a pump. That's like the best, like something, I can't even speak today, but that is something I would recommend to any pregnant woman, new mother out there, is to invest in a pump or put on your registry for your baby shower, because you will not be disappointed with a pump, because they're expensive. If you have one, like in a hospital, it was hard for me to produce my pre-milk, so I pumped and I was able to provide that to my child, so I didn't have to give him formula. So I really, really, really love this pump. They also let you rent a pump in the hospital, but I just was happy I had mine. So that's my pump. There's many, many, many good things about breastfeeding. Some say because you breastfeed, you save money, since formula, I don't know how much formula is, but you don't have to buy it. Again, the bonding, the great, 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 great nutrients. That's like the #1 best thing about breastfeeding. And I think that's what that's what I think about. Is I don't care about the money or anything. It's really just giving my child all the great benefits that my breast milk provides him. So that is why I breastfeed, and I am planning on breastfeeding until I can't. I'm trying to breastfeed until 6 months exclusively for him. So I'm almost at 4 months exclusive breast milk. So I'm very happy. I don't stress. That's one thing I want to tell you guys, is not to stress, because when you stress causes everything. When you're pregnant, do not stress, because if you stress before you go into labor, the baby feels it. So it's not good to stress. So that's one recommendation I would tell a mother to a mother, is don't stress, girl. Do not stress. The doctors are there to help you after. Do not stress. Family and friends are there to help you. And if you're alone, if you're in a military family and you're maybe overseas or whatever and you're alone, don't stress, girl, because we have motherly instincts, and us as moms, as soon as the baby's born, it's we know, God has already put a plan inside of us to know how to take care of our child. So that's the number one thing I recommend, is don't stress, girl. Do not stress. Everything will be okay if you don't stress. So let's just get on to the quote-unquote bad things. Well, when I started breastfeeding, I had really bad cracking nipples. Also, my son didn't really want to latch quote-unquote on, so it was kind of hard to really put him on, make him stay on, because they say when you put a child on the nipple, his mouth has to go, his lip has to go like this, and go on the nipple. And his lip wasn't going like that, he was going basically like this. And it's not supposed to do that, because it makes the nipple really bad. And that's what happened to me. I was trying to put him on my breast, it wasn't working. So what we did in the hospital is my boyfriend and I would pump my own breast with my hand, or we would use a pump. And so we each pumped the breast so we can provide him the nutrients, the pre-breast milk, I should say, to him. And I would understand a lot of women to give up, because it's a lot of work to breastfeed. First you have to pump maybe 2 to 3 times, once every 2 to 3 hours, or your boobs become very engorged. So you have to it's like a full-time job. You're a mommy 24/7, 7 days a week, and then you have to breastfeed. I know a lot of people can't do it. I know in some countries women don't have as much maternity leave to be able to breastfeed. Luckily here in Canada we have a year off, but I know in the States, for example, I think they have maybe 5 weeks off, and sometimes it's not even paid. So breastfeeding your child is not really something they can do, because they're at work 8 hours a day and they don't have time to go to the bathroom and pump some breast milk for the child when they get home. So I think where I'm just going to roll onto the controversy, is that I always see on social media people criticizing women for not breastfeeding, but you don't know where they're coming from, So don't criticize a woman for not breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is amazing. It's such an amazing thing, but this is what I don't get. People criticize you if you don't breastfeed, but when you breastfeed in public, people criticize you. Why? I don't get that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get the connection. You're going to criticize somebody for not breastfeeding their child, and you don't know, maybe they don't produce enough milk. Maybe they produce milk, but since their breasts are not as big, they don't maybe produce more than an ounce, like I said, more than enough milk. So they have to supplement with formula. You don't know what the woman's going through to not breastfeed their child. Maybe they have to go back to work right away, so they can't really breastfeed when they're going to work, and they don't really have time to go to the bathroom. Well, their boss doesn't let them go to the bathroom for half an hour every 2 to 3 hours, There's a lot of things on a woman why she can't breastfeed. Maybe she just doesn't want to breastfeed because her body can't take it. There's a lot of things on why a woman doesn't choose to breastfeed their child or can't breastfeed their child. So don't like really criticize somebody if you don't really know why they're not breastfeeding. I breastfeed my child, and I do not criticize any woman that does not breastfeed their child. I am just not like that. I just don't judge people like that. So just don't judge people when you don't know. That's what really irritates me when I see those things on social media. I get really irritated because these people don't know why they don't choose to feed their child the way they're feeding their child. And then they go, and if they are breastfeeding, I follow this girl, Sarah Stage, her name is. She's a mom of a 1-year-old now, and she had a picture of breastfeeding her son, and oh my gosh, people were like criticizing her because she didn't have a towel on, a cover on him or anything like that. First of all, when I'm in public and my child's hungry, I'm going to feed him. I don't care where I am, and I'm just going to put him on my breast and feed him. It doesn't make sense to me because first of all, my child does not like to be covered with any sort of cloth. He doesn't like it. He pushes it away. So I'm not going to make him uncomfortable to be fed. If he's hungry, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to feed my child, and that's it. Like, why do you have to stare at me and criticize me? Like, if you see from far me breastfeeding my child, it's a normal thing. We need to normalize breastfeeding. It's so ridiculous that people think that breastfeeding is disgusting when you're out and you don't cover up your child. No, honey. Girl, I'm going to feed my child if he's hungry while I'm out. If I'm in the mall and I'm going to buy Pampers and he's hungry, I'm going to sit down and feed him. I'm not going to cover him up, make him uncomfortable. If you're hungry, are you going to go to the food court and cover yourself up and to eat? This doesn't make sense. Like, God created women to feed their child. But if we see a celebrity walk around on the red carpet showing her nipples out through a see-through dress, it's okay, right? It gets me so frustrated to see all these comments saying, ew, you're breastfeeding your child, not putting a cover over his head. Ew, you're in public and you're breastfeeding your child. What does that, like, are you going to sleep better because you said don't even have kids yet? And they're saying all this stuff, like, it's disgusting to breastfeed your child in public. That's a privacy thing. Our bodies were made for that. If you think it's okay for a celebrity to walk around with their nipples out or with a see-through white shirt and you can see their nipples, or they're just walking around with a dress and it's all like, you basically see their tatas, but it's not okay for us to feed our child, it doesn't go two on two together. So I think really we should normalize breastfeeding because it's getting kind of ridiculous. But yeah, that's again with the controversy of like breastfeeding and stuff like that. But hey, I'm just me. This is my opinion. If you don't like it, girl, I'm just saying my opinion. I don't want to like get anyone mad or anything. It's just, it doesn't make sense, you know, those two things. Like, you want us to breastfeed, but you don't want us to do it in public. Are we supposed to stay in the house for 6 months? That is all I have to say about breastfeeding. If you guys want another video on this, then just comment down below. If you guys have an opinion on breastfeeding, comment down below. If you have a suggestion on what I can do like differently, or what I can do with breastfeeding, maybe so I can produce more milk or anything, comment down below. I want to hear your guys' opinion. And tell me about the controversy as well about all this breastfeeding, normalizing breastfeeding, where it's a good thing in my opinion to normalize it. Tell me what you think about normalizing breastfeeding in the comments below. I want to interact with you guys. If I can't reply to you guys, it means that I physically can't reply to you guys on YouTube, but I can, and if I do reply to you guys, I'm replying to you guys. I really want to interact with you guys, so leave in a comment down below what you guys think about breastfeeding. I'm sorry if this was like a controversial video in the end, but it was just my opinion. I wanted to get it off my chest, girl. So I am going to go, and I will talk to you guys in another video. Mwah. Bye. Au revoir.